welcome to a new vlog. We are off to Sydney. My sister was here visiting in Kingscliff for 2 weeks and now we're gonna spend some final days in Sydney together, and I thought I'll take you guys with me, combining it with some learnings from May. So my sister's gonna see the Sydney Opera for the first time. How excited are you?
Very excited. I can already see it a little bit.
I think that's one of the most special moments when you come to Australia and Sydney, seeing the opera. Because I always thought like, what is it? It's just a building. I was never impressed until I saw it in live for the first time, and I just wanted to spend so much time there. I'm excited for you. So while we are at the most iconic place in Australia, the second most iconic place you can be in Australia, I wanted to share with you the first live lesson from May. So some of you might have seen my first vlog, which was about staying consistent in May and not starting anything new, but actually really getting consistent with habits, routines and everything that I've been implementing over the past few months. So sticking to what we committed to, not what the mood is like, helping you reaching your goals. Often we think we need to shoot higher, we need to implement the next big thing, but actually staying with where you're at and making it a habit, using those 66 days to get used to something, to make it a daily routine, this is really what helped me this month. And this is how we grow. Our first day in Sydney is over, coming to an end, and it was just beautiful, best weather. It's such an iconic city. I could totally see myself living here. It's not gonna happen though, but it's just, yeah, also so special showing it to someone else. That's something I wanted to touch base on as well. Creating our lives and to the timing in our lives. One concept that helped me understand the importance of intuition and brain was how to use them together. Our intuition is what's telling us what we want to do, how we want to create certain things, how we want to create our future, what we want to do with our lives. And some things came up for me this month where I thought like, whoa, is that something I want to do? And usually I'm a person who then jumps straight into, goes ahead and does the things. And it was so helpful for me to understand this month that I don't have to do them immediately. That's where the brain comes in. So your intuition tells you what you want to do and your brain tells you when you're gonna do it. If you want to resign your job, your intuition is gonna tell you what you want to do. Your brain is still the one you can draw help from to understand when you want to do that. Because you might be in a financial situation where you're saying, oh, I have a big investment coming up in 1 or 2 months. Might just be better to stick around in your job until then. And I love that concept because often we hear go with your intuition, or the other side would be like, no, you have to think about everything, do pros and cons, and you have to make an informed decision. And this concept gives you an understanding of how to combine the two and when to ask which part of yourself. And so I've taken this concept with me for the second half of May and started implementing it, and I can already see much more ease because it also allows me to have a reason why I postpone ideas, if that makes sense. And as a very realistic person, but also a very intuitive person, it just makes perfect sense. And somehow I also believe that's what brought me to Sydney. Good morning everyone! It is the next day for us and now we're off going down the Coogee, gonna get some coffee on the hand and we're gonna hit the Coogee to Bondi walk. And I realized I didn't tell you guys much yet. I'm here to send off my sister. She's flying off to the Philippines tomorrow. And it's my third time in Sydney. I've been here in 2019 when I was traveling. Then again 2 years ago for my 30th birthday running the Sydney Marathon, which was a once in a lifetime experience. Now again to send her off, and it's always very special to show someone new Sydney. Last time it was my hubby who I showed Sydney for the first time. This city is so livable. I enjoy it so much here. You're still so much outdoors, like the ferry is part of the public transport. Yes, I definitely love Sydney. Let's see what the day brings. We walked past the State Library yesterday and saw that there is the Walkwest photo exhibition on. So that's what we're doing today. We did the walk in the morning, went for a little shopping now, and now we're going to see the Walkwest exhibition. This is our last evening, our last hooray. We are for dinner, gonna find a bar or a pub and see what the last evening brings. And tomorrow morning I'm flying back to the Gold Coast.
And I'm flying to the Philippines.
So yeah, we're gonna have a nice evening. It's just really hard goodbye. It was really hard to say goodbye to my sister. She was my first visit in Australia, who came for me. I've got other friends coming by, but they were traveling in Australia. Although it's almost been 3 years that we've been living here. And it's my sister. So it's bound to be more difficult. We have plans to see each other later in the year, but for travelers and people who live their life like I do, plans change very quickly. I'm gonna go to the airport now. I have heaps of time, but I'm taking the bus just because I can sit in the bus and listen to a podcast. And then I'm gonna grab a coffee and stroll around, and we will see each other there. So, I am back home and I had a bit of an uneasy journey home, to be honest. I had a little bit too much hand luggage because I bought some stuff down in Sydney, and also because I took some stuff from my sister home to Kingscliff, and it just does not get into my head how you can be so strict on weighing hand luggage. Passenger then having too much hand luggage in clothes, asking the person to wear the clothes, because it does simply not make any difference whether I have it in my bag or on myself. And they didn't weigh at boarding. They were weighing basically once you scan your boarding pass and you're walking onto the plane. And then they were asking for an extra charge for what you have too much. I had an empty water bottle with me and I filled it with water after the security check. And then they were weighing my water I'm taking onto the plane. They were weighing all of that and then not giving you any time to sort through it, but asking directly for the extra charge. It's also just an emotional situation now to have said goodbye to my sister. I haven't seen her in a year. Who knows when we'll see each other again. And back to routine. May is over. Back to normal life. And with being back to routine, it also means that I'm back to the things I'm doing at the moment in my life. And building up my coaching business is one of the big things I'm doing at the moment. Brings me back to the theme of this vlog, learnings from May. And I had a lot of conversations about business build-up in this past month. We here have a culture of being an entrepreneur, and it is cool to have a business and to run a business. So there is that big part of showing your business and your success. And I definitely got lost a bit in the black hole of thinking what I see other businesses thriving, my business needs to be at that stage as well. And I completely oversaw that I am in the first 6 months of building up my business, and that is a different stage. That is where you build your baseline, where you build your products, where you have your website, your logo, your name, everything, the offerings you do. And I was just like client work, looking for my clients, and I was feeling so unsuccessful at what I was doing. There were not many clients coming in, or not as many as I was hoping for, and it really made me then realize never ever compare your second step to the 20th step of someone else. That I'd rather invest this time to build a strong base, a great foundation, awesome products, Also to be humble and to acknowledge where I'm at, and actually to enjoy that time as well, to enjoy the time of building things, trying things, being creative, saying no to some ideas. Actually enjoying the journey rather than focusing on the outcome. That was really helpful for me, and I'm glad I had these conversations because it just made me much more feel like I am successful at what I'm doing, but I'm simply in a different stage than others. Alrighty, and with that I think I'm gonna bring this vlog to an end. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you're new here, look up here, there's also a May vlog about consistency, what I did this month to stay consistent in my routines, and then I'm gonna see you very soon. Thank you, bye bye.